How's it going, people? For today's video we got some more Save the World, and for this one I'm going to show you the best perks to use for each trap. And like always, if you enjoyed the video or found it useful, be sure to smash that like button, and if you really want to support the channel, use creator code A1. And I should probably point out, I don't even think I have all of my traps perked correctly. We're about to find out. But first we're going to start off with the broadsides. Here's all of the perks that you'll want on your broadsides. And when we compare it to the broadsides that I have, we have the exact same perks except for that 6th perk. It's recommended that you put durability instead of heals attached building, and those are the best perks when it comes to the broadsides. Next up we have the ceiling drop trap, and here are the best perks you can put on it. And I do want to see how it compares to the one that I'm using. So I think I need to change one of my durabilities to damage. Not sure why I put durability on it. It probably had to do with either endurance or Fortnite. But when it comes to the best possible perks to put on your drop traps, you're going to want to have physical, damage, reload speed, crit rating, crit damage, and 1 durability. Next up we have ceiling electric field traps, and here are the best perks you can put on it. We got energy, crit rating, crit damage, reload speed, and durability. So we do have all of the best perks on our ceiling electric field trap, so we don't have to change anything there. Here are the best perks to use when it comes to ceiling gas traps, and when we compare it to ours, we have physical, crit rating, crit damage, effect duration. We should have crit damage right here though, instead of reload speed, so we're going to go ahead and change that. And these are the best perks to use when it comes to the ceiling gas traps, generally speaking, of course. I should probably point out that there are certain situations where you may want to use slightly different perks. Like with endurance and Fortnite, you may want to try to add some more durability perks. If you're doing shorter missions, you don't really need the durability, you can probably select something different. But generally speaking, you can use the perks I'm showing you for any event and any type of mission. Anyways, next up we have the ceiling zapper, and here are the best perks you can put on it. And honestly, I don't really use this trap that often. The only time I really use it is I'll place it above a ramp or stairs that are facing outward, because it can deal damage through stairs and ramps. But other than that, I don't really use this trap that often. So I'm not entirely sure what the best perks are for this one. But yeah, I got energy damage, also have damage, crit rating. I am missing 1 crit damage right here, and we also need durability on this to give us some more uses. Obviously, if you're playing against water enemies, you'll want to use a ceiling zapper that deals nature damage. But for every other type of husk, you'll want to use energy. And these are the best perks to use when it comes to the ceiling zapper. Next up, we have the floor launcher, and wow, I definitely need to change the perks on my floor launcher. Holy shoot. Anyways, here are the best perks when it comes to the floor launcher. And as you can tell, my floor launcher is all the way messed up. I think the reason I added so many durabilities, it was either for Fortnite or for endurance. I don't remember which one, but I didn't really feel like replacing these traps. That's the only reason I would add all of these durabilities on it. But yeah, it's a good thing we're doing this video, because as you can tell, a lot of my traps didn't have the right perks on them. But yeah, when it comes to the floor launcher, you want 3 impact and knockbacks, 2 reload speeds, and 1 durability. Wow, my floor launchers were messed up. Anyways, here's the best perks you can use for retractable floor spikes. And when we compare them to the perks that we have, let's see, we got physical, crit rating, crit damage. We need another damage and a crit damage here and a durability here. So I did need to change quite a few perks on my retractable floor spikes. But to be fair, I never used these floor traps. In my opinion, they're like one of the worst ones. They do deal more damage than other floor traps, but the other floor traps are better when it comes to allowing your wall and ceiling traps to deal more damage. So yeah, out of all of the floor traps, these are the ones I probably use the least. But these are the best perks to put on retractable floor spikes. You got physical damage, crit rating, crit damage, crit damage, and durability. Next up we have the tar pits, and here's all of the perks that you'll want to put on it. And when we compare it to ours, we have the same exact perks. So for tar pits, all you have to do is just put all durability on it. That way it's going to last as long as possible. These are really good for stopping smashers whenever they're charging at your base. So you'll want these to last as long as possible. The damage doesn't really matter. You can get the damage from other sources like your ceiling traps or your wall traps or your guns and abilities. The main reason I use tar pits is to slow the husk down and to stop the smashers when they're charging. So yeah, these are the best perks to use when it comes to tar pits. Next up we have wall darts. And here are the best perks you can put on your wall darts. When we compare them to the perks that we have, let's see, we have physical damage, crit rating, reload speed, damage, crit damage, and instead of increased building health, they have durability. The reason I have increased building health on my wall darts though, usually I put wall darts on the walls directly around my objective, so that way if a smasher comes charging in, he's going to try to destroy these walls. So I want these walls to be as tough as possible, and that's why I decided to use increased building health on my wall darts. But that's mainly for high level smashers. When it comes to regular missions, you'd probably be better off using durability. But yeah, that's why I have increased building health instead of durability. But technically, these are the best perks you can have on your wall dart. It's physical, damage, reload speed, crit rating, crit damage, and durability. I'm actually going to change that back because I like having that increased building health whenever I need it. Next up, we have wall dynamos. And here are the best perks you can put on it. When we compare them to the perks that I have, let's see, we have energy, crit rating, crit damage, reload speed, and durability. So we do have the best perks on our wall dynamos. So I don't really need to change anything here. One thing I will point out with wall dynamos is that we do have a reskin version of them called Zapper Max. And with these, I have all of the same perks except for that 6th perk. I chose to put heals attached building piece just in case we don't have a power-based constructor in our group. I can use this trap to heal any walls that take damage. So that's why I have a different 6th perk on my Zapper Max. Obviously you'll want to use the nature element if you're fighting water enemies. But generally speaking, the best perks to use are energy, damage, reload speed, crit rating, crit damage, and durability. Here are the best perks to use when it comes to the anti-air trap. And when we compare that to ours, we have the same exact perks. So we don't need to change anything on this one. So yeah, when it comes to anti-airs, you want to use range, reload speed, range, reload speed, durability, and heals attached building. One thing I will point out with anti-airs is that you don't want your anti-airs to shoot at the same projectile because you'll sort of waste one of them. So you'll either want to keep a nice distance between your anti-airs, or you can have multiple anti-airs but just have different reload speeds on them, so that way they don't reload at the same time and shoot off at the same time. So this is another trap you may want to get multiple copies of. Next up we have the Cozy Campfire, and here are the best perks to put on it. When we compare it to what we have, let's see, we need durability on this, reload speed, another durability, reload speed, and another durability. And we also have heals attached building. So the best perks to use for the campfire are durability ×3, reload speed ×2, and heals attached building. Here's the best perks to use when it comes to the flame grill floor traps. And when we compare that to what we're using, let's see, we have fire damage, crit rating, crit damage, damage. Okay, instead of reload speed, they have another crit damage and effect duration. So these are the perks you'll want to use with the flame grill floor trap. I don't really use the flame trap that often. The only time I would even consider using it is if we're going up against nature enemies, but even then, I still feel like you would be better off using either the freeze traps, the wooden spikes, or the tar pits. I would say they're slightly more useful than retractable floor spikes, but definitely not the best floor trap to use, in my opinion. Anyways, next up we got the floor freeze trap, and here are the best perks you can put on it. And I don't know what happened here. I don't remember putting all impact and knockback on this, so I'm not sure why I did that. But apparently you want durability, reload speed, durability, reload speed, and durability. And for the 6th perk, you'll want effect duration. Again, not entirely sure what the hell I was thinking with 5 impacts and knockbacks. Maybe I did it for Frost Knight. I'm not entirely sure why I did that. But these are the best perks to use when it comes to the floor freeze trap. Honestly, probably a good thing I'm doing this video. I didn't realize so many of my traps were so badly perked. Next up we have the healing pad, and apparently these are the best perks to use when it comes to the healing pad. As you can tell, I didn't have my healing pad perked properly either. Looks like you want healing amount for your first 3 perks, so we'll go ahead and change those. And you'll also want a reload speed as well as another healing amount. And for the 6th perk, you'll want durability. So yeah, the best perks for healing pad are 4 healing amounts, 1 reload speed, and 1 durability. Next up, we got the sound wall trap. And here are the best perks you can put on the sound wall. This is another trap where you may want to have multiple versions of it with different reload speeds, just so they don't trigger at the same time and cause one of them to be useless. But if you only have one like me, then the perks you'll want to use are durability, reload speed, durability, reload speed, durability, and durability. So my perks was almost trapped the right way. I just had one more durability instead of reload speed. But again, if you have multiple of the sound wall traps, you'll want to have one with 1 reload speed and the second one with 2 reload speeds, if possible. But those are the best perks for when it comes to sound walls. Next up, we have the wall launcher. And here are the best possible perks to put on the wall launcher. When we compare that to mine, let's see, we have impact and knockback, reload speed instead of durability, impact and knockback, another reload speed, and impact and knockback and durability. The reason I think I had so many durabilities is probably because of Fortnite. When it comes to regular missions, obviously you don't really need all of that durability, so it would be better to have reload speed perks on it. But yeah, generally speaking, these are the best perks to use when it comes to the wall launcher. 3 impact and knockback, 2 reload speeds, and 1 durability. Next up, we have wall lights, and here are the best perks to use when it comes to wall lights. Gonna be honest, I don't use wall lights that often. I feel like you would be better off using sound wall traps instead of wall lights. Alright, so it looks like we already have the best perks on our wall lights. Don't need to change anything here. Best perks are 3 impact and knockbacks, 2 reload speeds, and 1 effect duration. But like I said earlier, you're probably better off using sound walls instead of wall lights. Next up, we have wall spikes, and here are the best perks to put on it. I do use wall spikes. I wouldn't say all the time, but there's definitely some situations where they're useful. Survive the Horde and Fortnite being 2 situations on the top of my head. You can also use them on Retrieve the Data. So I wouldn't say they're my most used trap, but I do use them every once in a while. And the best perks to put on them are the physical and damage perk, crit rating, crit damage, another crit rating, and another crit damage. Oh, so we do need to change a couple of our perks. And for the 6th perk, you'll want Heals Attached Building. And the reason you want this 6th perk on these traps is because they're really easy to make. They don't require a lot of materials, and you can place these on the inside of the walls around your objective. They won't deal any damage that way because they'll all be facing the objective, but you can place them on the inside to help heal that wall that's directly around the objective if you're missing a power-based constructor. Or even if you have a power-based constructor, you can still use this trap on the inside of your walls to help heal those walls faster. So I would definitely recommend having this 6th perk for the wall spikes. And last up, we have the wooden floor spikes. So here are the best possible perks you can put on it. And let's see if we have the right perks on ours. So we have physical, crit rating. Oh, we need some crit damage here. Crit damage, damage, and another crit damage. And you'll also want the Heals Attached Building 6 perk. So we did need to change a couple of ours, but the best perks when it comes to wooden floor spikes are physical, crit rating, crit damage ×2, damage, and Heals Attached Building. Don't really need durability because, well, they already have a lot of uses. You see it has 270 durability already, so you don't really need durability. They're also really easy to craft. They don't require a lot of materials, so even if they run out of durability, you can replace them easily. But yeah, the best perks are Heals Attached Building, crit damage ×2, crit rating, damage, and physical damage. And those are the best perks to use for all of the traps in Save the World. If you have any tips or any perk recommendations when it comes to traps, be sure to let us know in the comments below. Also, before I go, I did want to give a huge, and I mean huge, shout out to everybody who's been using creator code A1, and just want to say thank you for your support. Anyways, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.